Good morning, everyone. We're continuing today in the words of the Ramban. And he writes, V'roishcha kafuf. With everything that we've discussed in the past, we're leading now, says the Ramban, up into the way that a person is going to conduct themselves here in this world. And that is, says the Ramban, there's a certain way that a person is going to stand, way they're going to walk, way they should talk, the way in which they should express the inner yearnings that they have inside for this humility and the awe that they feel for their Creator. And therefore, v'roishcha kafuf, let your head be bowed, tilted slightly. Ve'einecha yabitu lamata la'aretz, and your eyes should look downwards, towards the aretz, towards the land, towards the earth. However, v'libcha lamala, but your heart should be directed upward or heavenward. Our head is bent down, our eyes are looking down towards the ground. Nevertheless, the heart is always soaring up into the Shemayim, into the heavens. We know a famous concept that the chitzonius is me'oreres ha'penimius. The outer actions that a person makes in the physical nature of his being, they arouse within him the inner feelings of what that attitude speaks based upon one's physical activities. If a person, for example, like the Mesilas Yesharim tells us, a person feels atzlus, feels lazy. So how do they overcome the laziness? They could think to themselves, I don't want to be lazy, it's hurting me, I'm not accomplishing what I could. That might work. However, says the Mesilas Yesharim, your thoughts and your heart and your emotions are not always readily within your control. However, to move your body quickly, to motivate yourself, to push yourself, to act in a way that is the opposite of the laziness that you feel inside of you, that you could do. And therefore he writes, act quickly. Jump out of bed in the morning, run to the shul, motivate yourself, run to go and do a chesed, an act of kindness. And while you're doing things in a quick manner, physically, it will awaken inside of you a true desire to do things in a much more alacritous, quicker way, and therefore you'll accomplish it. So the chitzonius, the outer actions of the person, that's what's in your grasp, and that will help to awaken deeper feelings of service of Hashem inside of you. Says the Ramban over here, up until this point we've been discussing that the most sacred trait that a person could contain inside of them is the trait of anava, of humility, always recognizing that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is over us, looking at all of our deeds, our successes, our talents, our strengths, and realizing everything that we have is coming from Hashem. When we see other people and we see their strengths, as we've learned before and will continue to see in the words of the Ramban, we have to humble ourselves and hearken to their other people's strengths and greatness as well, because that's also a gift that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is giving. How can I achieve a true level of humility, says the Ramban? It also has to do in the way in which we practice our actions in this world. So firstly, roishcha kafuf, tilt your head down. Your head should be bowed. I don't walk with my head sticking up. I don't put my shoulders all the way back and strut around this world like I own the world, like I'm something that's so amazing and so great. No, on the other hand, I have to recognize Hashem is always over me. And therefore I can't just walk with gall and audacity with my head sticking up in the clouds. I have to walk with my head down a little bit. It's a humbling motion. And my eyes should be looking down towards the ground, because I want to remember the dust. That's where I came from. That's where I'm going to eventually end up after 120 years. I'm not looking into the heavens to see how great the glory of Hashem is, and therefore I should think of myself in all of that glory and greatness as well. I look down. I keep myself humble, which is such an important trait for a person to have. However, don't let that bring you down And don't think that just because your head is tilted down and your eyes are looking towards the ground, therefore you're nothing and you're lowly. No, on the other hand, Libcha Malo, your heart is going to be ascending heavenwards all of the time. In my humility, I have to remember in reality how much greatness and how much strength and how much ability and potential I have. Really, I'm sourced in the heavens. My neshama, my soul, finds its place underneath the Kisei HaKavod, the throne of glory itself. There's so much abilities that I have in the neshama, the soul that I have, which is a tzelem Elokim, an image of God. Therefore, I must remember that my heart, not that I'm becoming haughty, but that my heart remembers where it comes from, and that will catapult me to continue pushing and achieving, even though I stay modest and humble with the people around me. May we be zeicha, may we merit on this wonderful day of Erev Shabbos to come into the Shabbos Kodesh, into the holy day of Shabbos, where we have a chance just to commune quietly together with Hashem, where our hearts can soar into the Shemayim, and our eyes can look down towards this earth and recognize that down here in this world is where we're going to be able to achieve the greatness that lies in store for each and every one of us. From everybody here at Makor HaChaim, wishing you a wonderful, wonderful Shabbos.